Thank you for joining us at xm.com for this Forex Preview video. We'll be having a look at a barrage of U.S. data coming out this week and, of course, the FOMC minutes of the latest Fed meeting. I'm Cristina Marujos, and joining me today is lead investment analyst Rafi Boyajian. Just before Thanksgiving, markets will be busy with a flood of data, but the PCE Inflation report, followed by the FOMC minutes of the latest Fed meeting, might steal the spotlight. So let's start with the data, Rafi. We've already seen the consumer price index surge to more than 6%. Are we likely to see a similar increase in the PCE inflation? And what else should we look out for in the upcoming data?
So, Christina, the inflation data will be crucial after that shocking CPI report, like you mentioned. Now, PCE inflation, or the core PCE price index to be more precise, and this is, of course, the Fed's preferred measure of inflation. It's been running somewhat below the CPI rate. However, in September, it was 3.6%. That was a three-decade high. It is expected to hit 4.1% in October, so undoubtedly this would be a concern for policymakers. In terms of the other data, we're also going to get personal income and personal consumption numbers, which will be quite important because consumption is a big component of the US economy. We're also going to have durable goods orders coming out on Wednesday. So based on the forecast, the US economy should have gotten off to a solid start in the fourth quarter, and we could even see a slight upward revision to the third quarter GDP growth figures that are also due on Wednesday.
Now let's move on to the Fed minutes, because this was the meeting that the Fed finally decided to begin tapering. Do you think we'll be able to learn anything new from the minutes?
Well, we've heard from several Fed officials since that meeting, so the minutes might be somewhat out of date, but what we've learned since that last meeting is that most policymakers seem to be turning more hawkish and becoming more concerned about high inflation becoming persistent. Most notably, we heard from Vice Chair Richard Clarida last Friday, where he signaled that the Fed could accelerate the pace of tapering, and this in effect means that rates would begin to go up much sooner than what is currently projected by the Fed itself. Nevertheless, the minutes could give us an indication as to whether some policymakers preferred a shorter tapering timeline. So we're going to hear more about those particular discussions and just how worried overall policymakers are about inflation not being transitory. So we would likely to see quite a few interesting headlines.
And finally, Rafi, what could a strong set of data mean for the dollar? Is it in for more gains?
Well, we could certainly see both the data and the minutes boosting the dollar further, especially if there are any positive surprises in the PCE inflation data. However, given that the dollar has gained so much over the last few days, it will be vulnerable to any disappointment. So even a slight softness in the data or a hint of dovishness in the minutes could trigger some profit taking in the greenback.
Rafi, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for watching this Forex Preview here at xm.com.